Hello, and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in Forza Horizon 3. We're actually going to be messing around a little bit on the Hot Wheels map today because the gameplay is not really too related to the topic of the video. The gameplay is more just me messing around and kind of just going nuts in free roam in Horizon 3 because basically what we have to talk about today is it's very interesting because there's been all of these rumors about the location of Forza Horizon 4. Now, a lot of people recently have been saying, oh, it's going to be in the UK. There are all these UK cars, so it's definitely going to be in the UK. I still don't think it's going to be in the UK for multiple reasons. One, because the UK doesn't have a diverse enough environment for a Forza Horizon game based on what we've seen in the past with locations like, you know, Horizon 1, Horizon 2, Horizon 3. I don't think a UK location would be diverse enough to support all of the different play styles that you will always see in a Horizon game. And at this point, you know, they've proven that they need big open highways, they need off-road, they need mountains, they need all these different things. And I just don't think the UK could support that. And I mean, there's going to be people that are like, well, what are you talking about? Of course it could support it. But I just don't think it would be a diverse enough environment to really showcase all of the vehicles. The other location that a lot of people have been speculating and there have been rumors about is Japan. Because Japan is more of like the fan favorite, right? Everybody wants it to go to Japan. Everybody would freak out if the game was based in Japan because that's kind of one of those places that there's so much car culture and there's so much history that's been built up over the years. I mean, if you played Need for Speed Underground or Need for Speed Underground 2 back in the day, you always wanted something that went back to that idea ever since then. I mean, if you watched Tokyo Drift, you've always wanted something like that in game form. Now, I think Japan would be a really cool place to host the game, but I feel like there's a pretty good chance that it won't be there because, again, going back to the issue with the environment not being diverse enough to support all of the different types of playstyles. Now, would it support, you know, toge driving and all that sort of stuff? Absolutely. Would it support highway driving? Absolutely. Would it support the off-road stuff? Maybe. Maybe. I'm not too sure. I think there's a higher chance of it being in Japan than in the UK, but nonetheless, I feel like Japan may still be just a little tiny bit of a stretch. So this brings me to the topic of this video. Now, if you go back, like way back, to the Forza Horizon 2 days, to when people were kind of anticipating and speculating about Forza Horizon 2, there was a pre-order page in the Microsoft Store that read as such for Forza Horizon 2. Rule the open road. From the breezy backcountry to the frenzied mean streets, Forza Horizon 2 gets you behind the wheel for an open-world racing adventure like no other. Challenge your friends or go solo as you tear it up down the roads of southern Europe, plow through fields and forests in California, or smash down fences on the dirt trails in Australia. Your road, your rules. Now, think about that. So we've seen a Horizon game in Europe. We've seen a Horizon game in Australia. The only one on that list that we haven't seen is California. Now, if you think about it, California has such a diverse environment that you could go from the city streets of LA to, say, for example, the mountain roads of like Angeles Crest and all of that kind of stuff, to off-road, to deserts, to Death Valley. All these different environment types are very well represented in California, and I don't know why anybody didn't think of this before, but I feel like if we see that, because it makes more sense than anything else when you look at it in that pattern, that it would be in California. And also when you think about how many Hoonigan cars have been included recently in the game, think about where Hoonigan is based, right? So there's a lot of these things that would point you to think that Horizon 4 could be heavily based in California. And I want to know your thoughts on this in the comments below, and I'd really love to get a discussion going about this idea because it's very interesting to me. And I think also, too, it's like if they were in the UK, if the game went to the UK, they don't have that many, like, crazy extreme areas where you could do further expansions. California does. And, you know, if you think about it, they have the ability to do snow. They showed that. They have the ability to do all these different kinds of weather. California, depending on if you're south or north, has the ability to support all of these different things. It would be a really good place to showcase the capabilities of this game's engine. So there's a lot that would be very interesting to see in terms of if the game went to California. And another reason why I feel like it wouldn't be in Japan is the issues with Toyota. Now, because I feel like you can't have a game based in Japan without Toyota. Like, it just wouldn't work, man. There's so many iconic Toyotas that would have to be present in a game that was set in Japan that I feel like they just wouldn't be able to pull it off properly without the availability of Toyota. I don't think it would work. So, and again, that continues to further point to California. I mean, think about it. Long Beach, like I said, the Hoonigan headquarters, all of that stuff would be a great platform and a great building block, and they would be able to incorporate more Hoonigan content. So, and think about all of the Fast and Furious references and all that kind of stuff that comes out of California. And plus, you can expand from there like crazy. You have endless possibilities for expansion packs. So we'll have to see what's coming soon in terms of getting ready and gearing up for announcements and stuff at E3. But man, if this game is set in California, I will not be particularly surprised. And I think that I'm surprised that nobody's actually kind of gone back and kind of, you know, referenced this before and referenced that pattern. But if that pattern is correct, I feel like I sound like a wizard or something. If the prophecy is correct. But no, seriously, like, if that is correct, then we could possibly have more evidence pointing to California than anywhere else. And I'm very, very excited about that. Now, of course, there's going to be people that are going to say, well, why would they release all those British cars if they were, you know, prepping for California? Who knows? Maybe they just had a bunch of British cars that they wanted to release for the game. And I know a lot of people, when all those British cars came out, really jumped on that train for Horizon 4 being in the UK, and they jumped on it hard. They were like, oh, okay, bunch of British cars in a car pack. Confirmed, Forza Horizon 4 is going to be in the UK. Done deal. And I'm like, I don't want to jump to conclusions like that. I feel like it's really a really hasty decision to make, to jump to conclusions like that in terms of the location for a game. I mean, you really should not ever jump to conclusions on the location of a racing game based on a car pack for a different racing game. I mean, that was for a Forza 7 car pack. So I think it's a little bit crazy to jump on the UK train just yet, and I think that we should really wait and see. But I think that we've got enough evidence to at least make California a considerable rumor that can be really put out there into the space. So let me know your thoughts on California being the location of Horizon 4. I think it would be a really cool place. I think it would be actually very cool if you could do, like, think about all the car meets. Think about all the car meets that happen in California right now. Think about all the car meets that you could host in a virtual California. Like, think about LA. Think about, like, all these different locations. Like, you have, like, the LA River, which you could do, like, car chases and photos and all that kind of stuff there. And, you know, you have, again, the mountains, the hills, just so much stuff. Like, think of the mountain drifting. Oh my God, think of the mountain drifting. Think of all of these different things that can be put. Think of the highway racing. Think of the roll racing. Think of all these different things. And then the off-road stuff. You'd finally have a use for the trophy trucks. All of that kind of stuff would have a use in California if they decided to go that route. And I think it would be I mean, and of course, no matter where the game is set, it's been set for a while. I mean, they have to have had a location in order to have been developing the game. I mean, they're not going to be able to change the location now. I mean, we're only a couple months before E3. But if you think about it, the more I think about it, the more I get hyped up about it being in California, because I would love to see it there. I mean, I would also love to see the game in Japan, but I think California would definitely fulfill kind of everything that this game is trying to go for. And I know that there's going to be people that are going to be like, oh, why is it not in Japan? Oh, you ruined the game. Oh, I'm not buying the game. Oh, but I think that in time, a lot of people would come around to the idea that California would be a very, very good place to host a Horizon game. So that is going to do it for this particular video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comments below what your thoughts are on Horizon 4 possibly being in California. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more Forza and other games like Spintire's Mud Runner. You've got all sorts of crazy games here on the channel now. I mean, we've got like indie rock crawling games. We've got more Forza builds. We've got news regarding Forza Horizon 4. We've got builds in Forza Motorsport 7. We've got all sorts of stuff. Make sure you tune in next time, and I'll see y'all later.